Okay, hello there, and welcome back to another TLDR video with myself, Deepak on Tech. Today we're going to take a further look at Nix Flakes. I do rather like Nix stuff, and today we're going to check out a feature that maybe you know about, maybe you don't know about. We've got a little folder here with a Nix Flake, and of course we already know, well, or at least I assume we already know about the kind of standard things that you'd put inside a Nix Flake, like a package or a dev shell, or even a container specification. But did you know that we also have these things called apps? And with apps, they can be used for various different things. You could actually define an app inside your Nix Flake, which just directly kind of runs the result of the package, gives you an ability to do an immediate run. However, you can also kind of use it like entries that you might have in a make file or a task file, or I think there are other systems like, is it Just Do It or something like that? In any case, I tend to run GoTask. I actually find the task files that it defines really, really useful. But I was wondering the other day, hey, I use these Nix Flakes all over the place. Is there a way that I can reproduce some of that functionality? Obviously, this is not as fully fledged as something like a task file, but could I reproduce some of that functionality in my Nix Flakes? And the answer is yes. So here in front of us right now, hopefully this is big enough for everybody to read easily enough, we can define these things called apps. You kind of have to have a top level where you define which system the app is for. There may be other ways of handling this, but I've just made it static. I've defined a system type here. So apps.system, and then inside there you can have named entries for each app that you want to have. So for my first example here is a check app. That's just the name I've given it, is check. And inside your apps, or app in this case, you must have a type, which always has to be app. So I'm guessing that's for future development. And then you have to have a program. And the program has to reference a binary that you're going to run that's available in the Nix store. So what you're going to tend to want to do with this is reference something from packages. And actually we have this little library call that we can make called write shell script. So for our purposes, I'm defining shell scripts here. You could actually directly define a binary here. So I don't know exactly what you would directly want to run in something like this, but yeah, if you have a shell command that you want to run, you could specify it directly here. Keep in mind that it does need to be a reference to its Nix store location, though. Now, write shell script takes a parameter, which is the name of the script it's going to create, and then you pass it some text. And you can see here that I've got an echo and then a Nix Flake command. Now, this meta.description is optional, but if you don't have a meta of any kind defined, then there won't be any further description when you do like a Nix Flake show, and also a Nix Flake check will actually complain because, it'll generate a warning as opposed to an actual error because it considers that there should be some kind of meta. Now, all your usual meta stuff can go in here, so you can have like maintainers, platform, etc., etc. But for our purposes, you're probably only going to want to have a description in here. So anyway, let's take a look at this very first example. What can we do with this? Well, I'm first going to do the Nix Flake show, and you can see this is what it looks like. We've got an app called check and an app called hello. We'll worry about the hello one later. And I can simply say Nix, actually it's Nix run. I can say that I want the current directory, and then I can say hash, and then the name of the app that I want. So in this case, I want to run check. And wow, there we go. We're going to run Nix Flake check. So it did my echo, it ran the check, everything came back good. Excellent. So that's working perfectly. Now, if we jump back into here, we also have this one called hello. Now, the reason I put this one here was because I wanted to demonstrate sending parameters, because, if you're like me, one of the first questions you probably asked was, hey, can I pass parameters into these apps? And the answer is yes. Now, you're not really passing parameters into the script. What you're doing is you're passing parameters directly into whatever binary you're running, and in this case, it's actually write shell script. And then, so it's really like a shell function here. It's not really a function of Nix that you can pass parameters. I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. I echo hello world. I make the name variable equal whatever is the first parameter we get in here, and then I say hello to name, and I've given it a description as well. So let's try this one. What would this look like? we do a Nix run current directory hash hello, and then we have to do dash dash, and then we can supply our parameter. So in this case, I'm going to say Alice. And what we should get, there we go, hello world, and hello there, Alice. So that has worked nicely. Now, of course, you have, I guess if you did, I haven't actually tested this now, I'm thinking out loud. If you ran in impure mode, you could probably also make use of environment variables. That's just occurred to me now as well. But yeah, you can certainly pass parameters at the shell. So there you go. Very, very quick and easy. I guess it is a TLDR after all. You can have apps defined inside your Flakes. And yeah, I think this write shell script function is probably the most useful one to use in this case, but I'm sure there are plenty of other ways that you could do it. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed that. See you next time.